This is the MSR Carbon Reflex 2-person backpacking tent. It is the lightest weight double wall offering from MSR for 2 backpackers. Simple construction with 2 carbon poles and a really ultra lightweight material in the tent body and fly make it a great option for backpackers, thru hikers, or anyone who wants ultralight compact performance without sacrificing a lot of comfort and livability on the inside of the tent. Let's take a look at the constructions, the materials, and what makes this tent so unique. The materials that are involved with the MSR Carbon Reflex are a 15D nylon ripstop floor. It does have a DuraShield finish, so 1200 millimeter waterproof coating there. It is polyurethane and DWR finished as well, so really good waterproof performance on that floor of the tent. It is seam taped, so again, confident waterproof protection throughout the floor. The mesh is a polyester micro mesh. It's a 10D, so it's super, super lightweight. Packs down really small, keeps all those pesky insects out, and again, is very light, very minimal. The poles that MSR is using on this tent are an Easton Carbon Ion pole. We've got 2 of them. One pole extends across the main body, the other kind of goes across for the brow or to create those near vertical sidewalls. I will say that the carbon style pole is a little bit more delicate than some of those aluminum tent poles, so take care when setting up and breaking down the poles to ensure that you get the longest life out of them. This tent is a non-freestanding design, so it does need to be staked out. It does need to be anchored in order to get it to pitch correctly. All 4 corners stake in nice and easily. We've got a really unique triangular design there that creates a vertical sleep zone in the bottom of the tent, and it's really easy to set up. If you set up those 4 corners, get your carbon pole over the main body and then the brow pole, everything erects very nicely, and you can get a really nice taut pitch, but it has to be staked out. The dimensions of this tent are pretty sizable for 2 backpackers, 50 inches wide, 84 inches long, so you've certainly got length there for longer sleeping pads and enough width for wide sleeping pads as well. Keep in mind, if you are using a wider sleeping pad, it will kind of butt up right to the sides of the tent. So if you don't want that to happen, you may just need a regular width sleeping pad in the tent. You've got about a 34-inch peak height in the tent, so it is enough to sit up. You can move around, you can change, you can do what you need to do inside the tent without feeling super stuffed and claustrophobic. You've got about 43 cubic feet of interior volume, so it's a very sizable tent, especially for the weight and the size that it packs down to. It is very spacious. It does provide a lot of room for 1 or 2 backpackers. A few other things I want to mention about the tent. We do have 2 doors for each backpacker, or 1 door for each backpacker, 2 doors total. There will be 2 vestibules when the tent Rainfly is attached, and those vestibules are about 7 square feet each, so that's plenty of room for additional gear, muddy boots, backpacks, or whatever you need to store outside the tent. There are 2 pockets, 1 for each backpacker on the inside of the tent, so an easy place to store gear. And there are internal gear loft loops as well. They work with MSR's universal gear loft, which is sold separately, it's not included, or you can use those to hang a lantern or any other items you want to store inside the tent that way. The doors do roll back, and there is a hook and loop closure there, so you can make sure it stays open if you need to dump heat, if you need to get in and out in a hurry. It's very easy to do that. And there are jingle-free zipper pulls on each side, so it's not gonna rattle around and wake you up during the night. So very smart design there. Another thing, all the kind of stress points are reinforced, so where the tent poles and the clips kind of pull the body out, everything's got a little bit of extra stitching there to ensure durability over a long period of time. I'm going to attach the Rainfly now so we can take a look at that and see it with the fly on and check out those vestibules. The Rainfly is constructed with a 7D ripstop nylon with a DuraShield polyurethane and silicone treatment. So seam taped, fully waterproof construction gives you confident weather protection throughout the entire Rainfly. As I mentioned, all of the stress points are reinforced, so reinforced stitching in those guy out sections and in the sections that interact with the tent poles. Included are some additional guy out lines and aluminum tensioners, so you've got those at strategic points throughout the tent to really batten it down in less than ideal weather. The tent fly does stake out individually or separately from the tent body, so you've got stakeout points throughout, and at each stakeout point there is a tensioner to really tighten it down and get a nice taut pitch. You can certainly use this with a fast fly option, so it would be just the tent fly and the tent footprint. The footprint is sold separately. A really neat design feature with the fly here is the zipperless entry for the vestibules. So each vestibule has Velcro, and it's also got these super lightweight hook and loop tabs. So you've got easy entry and secure hold for those windier days, those rainy days, but no zippers really helps to reduce the weight. And at the top here, we've got an always open vent. So it's constantly breathing, it's constantly regulating that airflow and allowing the tent to kind of ventilate. So less condensation buildup throughout the night. So really smart features on the tent fly, and a super light, ultra packable design make it a really smart tent fly. The doors on the tent fly will also roll back, and you've got a hook and loop there to secure it. So if you really just want to open it up, if it's a nice dry night, you can easily do that to the doors. And again, they have the vestibules, great place to store that extra gear. So for an ultra lightweight, ultra packable two-person backpacking tent with a non-freestanding design that really helps to shed that weight even more, it's the MSR Carbon Reflex two-person backpacking tent.